What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6. It's your guy, Sirr Love. And today we got a dope topic for you guys. As you already know, we're continuing on with the series Management 102, 101, saying it out of order, but this is 103. We're going to talk about the skills necessary, to be a manager. If you're an artist, the skills that you should be looking for, or a songwriter, producer, someone that needs a manager, the skills that you should be looking for from a manager, and just overall how skills work. Because skill sets are very important when making your selection, and skill sets are very important for becoming a manager and growing in that space. So let's get into it. Your boy, Sirr Love. Let's rock. So some of the skill sets that managers have to have now really come from the fact that labels aren't doing what they used to do. There was a time period when, like I said before, the labels were doing the marketing and doing the promotions. They were basically taking on the whole burden of breaking the artist. Nowadays, it's not really like that. Labels are inclined to spend less as record sales are down, and therefore it's harder for you to get that big superstar appeal or that big superstar machine behind an artist to help make that appeal. So managers have had to do a little bit more and have more skin in the game. All right. That means they've taken on skill sets that labels have. So when you're looking for a manager, the skill sets that they need to mirror something that makes sense for what you're doing. Now, there's different types of managers in the space. Now, as you do know, every manager can have a series of skills, but let's talk about some of them in particular. All right. So some managers are what I like to call creative managers, right? They're the type of managers that will get in the studio with you. They'll help you write records. They'll help you record records, or at least give you ideas and pointers. They enjoy the experience of being in the lab, and something about them being in the lab with you somehow makes you better, whether you're a producer, you're a songwriter, you're an artist. The manager being there, their input, the vibes they bring, the elements that they bring, the energy, the people that they bring, whatever it is that they bring with them into that creative space just makes the creative process that much better. A lot of times these guys are also good at video concepts and video content and planning and putting that stuff together. They really get entrenched into the creative process, right? That's one skill set, right? Another skill set that you may see is taking that creative space more into the business realm, and where they're really good at marketing ideas. They're really good at coming up with creative concepts on how to get your music out there, how to get you heard, how to position you or put you on a platform to get more attention. These guys can sit down and say, you know what, instead of paying for, these advertisements, let's make this crazy, some crazy, guerrilla marketing move that somehow catapults us into getting more awareness online, so we didn't have to pay the advertisement. Things of that nature. You have managers that are very strong in the marketing creative space too. That's a different skill set. Another skill set that you'll see with managers is you'll have a manager that's really dope at booking in particular. Normally they were brought up in the game or interned or learned from some type of booking agency, work for an agency or work for an individual in booking, and then they go into management and they bring those skills with them. And so now they know how to help get artists on tours, help them get on the road, help them get shows. Some of them have more preference internationally. Some of them have more preference domestically and more power and leverage and things of that nature. And so they have managers that are really dope and really good at booking, and they're great at that space. You have other managers that are really good at operations and organizing. They're really good at leadership, operations, organizing, leadership. It normally comes bundled together. These guys are great at helping build teams, organizing people, executing tasks, scheduling, things of that nature. They're very, function-driven, individuals that can kind of get the whole machine running. Then you have other managers that are good at PR. Like, there's a lot of people that either studied under PR or learned from a PR person that then go into management, and they're really good at networking and creating opportunities and helping their artists meet people and putting their artists on certain platforms. Then you have people that used to be in radio and they're in management now, and now they have a lot of skill sets and pull, or they used to be radio promoters. They have a lot of skill sets and pull with radio institutions, and they can help get records spun and get records in rotation a lot quicker and things of that nature. Pretty much, if you think about anything that a label does nowadays, those individual skill sets have been broken off into a lot of manager roles. And so a lot of managers have taken on these skills. There's some managers that are just really dope at like just investment guys. They're really into finance. They throw money at situations. They're not as involved with their hands. They're like, hey, I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna pay for that, I'm gonna pay for this. And they really take on an investor role, which, as you guys know, historically the label was the investor. So skill sets as a manager, you have a wide variety of skill sets, and they all associate with some tasks that the label used to do. And not saying that labels don't do it anymore. Labels do take on a lot of these roles, but there's now more pressure than ever on the artist team, which is normally headed by the manager, to take on some of those tasks. So skills for managers are going to be in that space. Now, some skills that are kind of unique to management that are still very prevalent are like managers that are good at placing records, for example. If you're a producer or songwriter, that might be what you're looking for. A manager that is able to has a lot of relationships and contacts and can make some phone calls and get your beats on people's albums, if it's upcoming artists or signed well-known artists or older artists that are kind of fell off but are still making good sales, things of that nature. They have the access to get you on those projects, right? You also have the managers that are really good and network in with publishing institutions, and they know how to get syncs very well, and they know how to do publishing and help get your records exposed in the commercial market and things of that nature, which is still syncs. So you have managers that have relationships and that are very good in that space. And then you have your in the ground, like your ground level in the dirt managers that are really good at taking a project from zero, not necessarily to hero, but from zero to profit. Managers that just know all the people involved in, getting the artist from $0 of revenue to getting the artist to $100,000 in revenue, and they just know how those pieces work. Sometimes they may struggle with getting numbers beyond that, and then you have other managers that are great at that space. They know how to go from $100,000 a year to a few $1 million a year, and that's what they're good at. They don't know how to do the bottom level. So there's different, managers that play different roles, have different skill sets, and it's normally associated with the three things that we always talk about: knowledge, network, and money, right? A manager either knows a whole lot of people, their network is crazy, they have a whole lot of knowledge of what to do, or they have a lot of resources to pull it together. Now, you as an artist, when you sit back and you start thinking about, who do I need to hire? Who do I need to put on my team? How, what do I need to think about when I'm looking for a manager? You need to start thinking about what skill sets are necessary for you. You need to assess your current team and figure out what piece is missing, because the manager is going to be the key thing that keeps all of that stuff moving and together. And depending on what type of person you hire as a manager, that is going to determine, the focus of your team. If your manager is a creative, focused person, you bring a creative, focused person and you put them in leadership, they're going to be focused on creativity. They may have other skill sets, right? Most managers, hopefully all managers, have multiple skill sets. Whatever areas their strengths are, those are going to be the areas that they're going to, push the company towards, because people push towards their strength. So, if you hire someone that's really, really good at booking, your business plans, your outlook, your focus, the movement of your company is going to be centered most likely around booking, and every other activity will be something that supports what you guys are doing from a booking standpoint. If it's marketing, everything will kind of be built around marketing, and everything else will support that. So, be cognizant of who's already on your team, because maybe you already have great booking people on your team. Maybe you already have great marketing people on your team. Maybe you have great creative people on your team. And so if you bring in a CEO that, matches what you're already great at, is that the best move to enhance your project? Maybe you want to be more booking focused, so you bring in, someone else that's more booking focused and this can take your booking to another level. Or maybe you're saying, we're good in the booking space right now. What we need to do is figure out someone that's really tight at radio. We need to have, a leadership that's strong in that area. Or maybe you have you want to hire a manager that's, kind of a operations leadership type of guy, and he may not have all this. He may be weak in a lot of the skill sets, but he's great at bringing all those people together to help make the company run and get the things that you guys want to get done. Maybe it's a PR person that you want to lead your charge into the game. I mean, as an artist right now, you have to be strategic. There is no perfect way to do it, and that is your role. And picking a manager with the right skill sets is going to be important for you going forward. Now that I've listed some, hopefully you can think of more. You need to identify the skill sets that managers have. And then after you identify those skill sets, you need to figure out okay, what skill sets do I need on my team? What skill sets do I vibe best with? What's important to me? How do I want my company to work, right? Because I'm not, as an artist, I'm not going to focus on my company. And if you're a manager, you are trying to be a CEO of some artist company, and you have to figure out what skill sets you have and what you bring to the table to make all that make sense. At the end of the day, that CEO is going to go out and hire, every other department. We'll talk about that in another video. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot. And every time I get on this camera, I give you guys everything that I got. Make sure you check out the website, www.phasebi.com. Got a lot of great stuff on there. We're doing exclusive videos on there that are not available on YouTube. We have all sorts of products and things like that to help your career and take you to where you need to go. If you have some intricate questions or things of that nature and you would like to speak to me elaborately or speak to me personally, reach out via the website. If you have questions, comments, put them down here below in the video. Reach out, let's talk, let's work. I want you guys to succeed. I want everybody to win. I don't know everything, but what I do know, I'm willing to share and make it make sense. So let's make this thing happen. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out of here.
Come on and face it. If you need some marketing motivation, you can learn to transform your life and build your own empire. With Sirr Love.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, I said real talk. I said real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.